Hey guys, welcome back to another reacts video. Today we're going to be reacting to Loxin and Noggin explaining the starter Pokemon Battle Royale. So for my last reacts, we did react to the terminal montage, and now this is the explanation video, and we can see the many things we missed. Now I know it's going to be good because it's Loxin and Noggin. I love their videos. I've been subscribed to them. I'm gonna like it. Actually, I'm gonna like it. You can't see it, but I really liked it. But yeah, let's get to it. It is a longer video, so let's get straight into it. Okay, these are the ghosts.
Oh yeah, the latest Pokemon Battle Royale I helped Terminal Montage create is out, and it may be the most controversial one yet because people love their starters. We'll watch that first because I'm going to spoil everything. You have 3 seconds.
That is true.
The best part is there's no Sylveon. Hang on.
Yes, please explain that.
Hang on, allow me to explain. So in this Battle Royale, we have all of the evolutions of all of the starter Pokemon. Now, obviously, like Oshawott and most of the rest of the basic unevolved Pokemon are not going to win. But by having them here, it leads to more opportunities for jokes,
Alright, people.
Remember, creative liberties are always taken with these. So for most interactions, we base things on like the Pokedex entries, the anime personalities, gameplay mechanics, and competitive VGC and TCG meta. But one creative liberty we could not take was Sylveon being here because, well, Eevee is only a starter Pokemon in games like Pokemon XD, Conquest, and Let's Go Eevee, which is also why Eevee has the balloons. But in none of these games is your starter Eevee able to evolve into Sylveon. Conquest is a Gen 5.
Okay, that's why it wasn't able to get any of the stones.
Game, and your starter Eevee does not evolve at all in Let's Go Eevee. You can try, but without glitchy exploits, it's not possible. This is also why there's no Raichu, and why the Eevee finally gets an evolution stone scene exists. Yes, that was everyone's feelings when Let's Go Eevee came out. Now then, let's watch the whole battle again and pause for commentary on some of the lesser known details and explain why things happen the way they do. I love the occasional Hisuian balls, but like, why does Poipole make a cameo here? Well, because Poipole is a starter Pokemon in its home dimension, but since we, the players ourselves, never get one as a starter,
I didn't even notice that in the like, see, yeah, I missed so many things.
It's not included in the battle itself. Oh, Charmander drowned. If the tip of its tail goes out, it dies.
Yeah, I think we all knew that.
There is a reference to the Grovyle and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers. He's got a time gear, so he time travels away.
Oh, that's sick! I didn't even. Oh my god, the attention to detail is freaking amazing. I love it.
So here, the entire Venusaur and Meganium lines are said to have a pleasant aroma that calms people and Pokemon.
That's why.
Fighting spirit. It
makes sense.
Their aggressive emotions, just like chill out, man.
Chill out, they're all freaking high. Oh, that screenshot.
Why Delphox decided to hang out with them. This fire psychic Pokemon is partially based on Delphic oracles, basically the ancient world's future seers who, for lack of a better term, would burn herbs and get really, really high to get
that makes so much sense.
Opening with a nod to Eevee's Z-move, but Espeon's future sight makes it realize it's gotta get out of there before the Eevee chaos ensues. Skipping ahead to Blastoise, who still shoots from its head instead of its cannons, the Pokédex says it's capable of blasting this water through thick steel, so most Pokemon are no match for it. Even
Polion
steel wings after a while.
Makes sense.
That said, Blastoise and Feraligator's heads are still no match for a Mach 3 water bullet from the agile secret agent Inteleon's dual water pistols. They are slow and easy targets too. Moving to where most of the fire types are, a 3-way is happening with all of the fire fighting type Pokemon. Setting
they're all firefighting. I didn't realize.
The blaze and spooking Incineroar away. Incineroar is a fire dark type heel wrestler who really has no chance here, so the scaredy cat leaves and stumbles upon the opera singing Primarina, who gets to experience Incineroar's throat chop, one of its signature moves. The move prevents its target from using sound-based moves. Not that it matters much, since Incineroar then Smash Bros style back throws Primarina.
The Smash reference. I love it,
and it double teams, but Incineroar's spinning Darkest Lariat doesn't care about that. So, the Typhlosion explosion. Let's back up a bit.
Yeah, I was about to say, what was
Considering
this,
it's
such a
lesser,
big
Charizard goes for the
explosion?
nearest worthy opponent it can find to smash Bros up throw or just do an anime amount of seismic tossing onto. Charizard is a bit of a show-off, and his victim just happens to be Typhlosion. What's happening here relates to a few of Typhlosion's Pokédex entries. It can hide behind a shimmering heat haze that it creates using its intense flames. Typhlosion creates blazing explosive blasts that turn everything to cinders. Hence the heat warping effect. And it has a secret, devastating move. It rubs its blazing fur together to cause huge explosions. Only here, it's not just rubbing some of its fur together to make an explosion. No, its entire back is rubbing against Charizard as the rapid wind pushes against it, causing a big explosion in the air, separating the two, and an even bigger, more devastating explosion when it crashes into the ground.
Wow, that's so cool. Like, they take from different Pokédex entries and, you know, they made it into this battle royale. I love it. It's the attention to detail, like I said, it's freaking amazing.
Pokédex category as the volcano Pokemon. Oh, it's true. So the fiery shockwave of the explosion expands.
Yeah, it's a big shockwave.
Pokemon away and vaporizing.
Yeah, Emboar's freaking heavy.
But not Chestnut,
makes sense.
Who can easily withstand explosions just
Bomb
fine.
blast.
And Torterra's ground type, and being partially dug into the ground already, means fire doesn't affect it as much. The smart and tricky Meowscarada decides to hide underneath it. These flames obviously change the weather a bit, like all major fires, and Swamperts are able to detect weather changes with their sensitive fins. They also like digging themselves into holes on the shores. And now, to try and better protect its beach, it uses Earthquake to cause the earth to rise around the area. But Earthquake is a devastating move that hits all non-flying battling Pokemon, so in this case, it's gonna hit the whole island.
The whole island.
Swampert is one of only 2 starter Pokemon able to naturally learn the move Earthquake, the other being Torterra. Now with 2 Earthquakes and a devastating explosion
everything's
happening, the island has no chance.
Yeah.
Swampert gets
Cool
pushed
emo
back by
teens there.
Torterra's Quake, and in turn, Swampert does what out of all of the starter Pokemon, only Swampert can naturally do. It uses Surf. Every opponent
oh, okay, so Swampert did that. Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was just a tsunami from the impact.
Shaken, not stirred.
You get it? Because this Pokemon line is literally a James Bond reference? Also, I know people who blinked and missed it will wonder where Quaquaval was during all this, and the answer is here, being eaten by Serperior.
What? I didn't realize it.
Only a few of the Pokemon were fast, strong, or cunning enough not to be
If Binding Logic here, immediately mean not game logic. 2 earthquakes and a Surf will wipe out all the fire types, and then some of we're going strictly by game logic, whereas realistically, as soon as from the time in the enemy, you can avoid these attacks by dodging up to high ground, like you see in Talia and many others do. Being shaky doesn't hurt. It's a falling rebel that does. So like dodge it. What? Like it's hard. I mean, yeah, that's why Inteleon survived.
And Skeledirge was somehow one of them. It sings its lamenting song, a dirge, a sad tune to funeral music as the ghosts of the fallen starters, which were congregated down into the chasm, float up and away. As does Skeledirge's own spirit friend, the flaming bird on its nose.
Yep,
uses as a
I knew that one. I
They are
remember seeing that from Scarlet.
Absorbed by Hisuian Typhlosion, a spirit medium who keeps 108 spirits bound to its flame to power its attacks before sending them off to the proper afterlife. But meanwhile, Meowscarada pops out and uses its trickster magician magic to fool Torterra into eating a flower bomb. Dodongo dislikes smoke, and Chestnut, the White Knight, hates trickery like this, and, of course, is basically bomb-proof.
Yep. Okay, makes sense.
Now it's time for an iconic top 10 anime battles, Greninja versus
Charizard.
And despite the type advantage, Charizard wins. Because Charizard, just like in the anime. But specifically here, Greninja tries stealthily putting out Charizard's tail. After all, that's what defeated Charmander. But despite this common belief, Charizard is shown completely submerged with a still-burning tail quite occasionally. It no longer has
Flame
this
is still
and if
lit up.
Charizard becomes furious, the flame on the tip of its tail flares up in a whitish-blue color, which is powering Charizard up enough to defeat Greninja
That's why,
even
okay.
after all of its previous battle damage.
See, I didn't know like all these little, well, I didn't know all these Dex entries.
Again, just
It's
like
so
the
cool,
story of
though.
Typhlosion not really being able to do anything after powering up. Well, in a throwback to our
Charizard
very first
just
Pokemon Battle Royale, we have this exact scene. We
killed
have
it.
Decidueye, who can knock and fire an arrow at an enemy in a tenth of a second. So its battles are decided in the blink of an eye. Well, Samurai's
But it gets
next
beat
entry
up.
says, in the time it takes a foe to blink, it can
It
draw
draws.
and sheathe its scimitars attached to its front legs. And then there's Infernape, who uses all of its limbs to fight in its own unique style. It is beaten by none in terms of quickness. This is a very close battle then, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Well, the
everybody's
Pokédex
quick.
also says Decidueye is basically cool and cautious. When it's caught by surprise, it is seized by panic. So, when Samurott slices its arrows and Infernape catches them all, it panics and loses first, followed by Samurott
makes
because
sense.
of Infernape's flame never going out, and its no-limit fallacy, and Samurott's typical one slash and then put the sword away fighting style puts it at a disadvantage here too. But then, here comes the Hisuian varieties, catching
Yeah,
the
the Hisuian
Infernape
forms.
completely off guard. Deja vu? Another Samurott and another Decidueye? That Decidueye still has no chance, but now the Samurott is evil.
The voices
and is now
from
known
Samurai
for
Warriors.
mercilessly slashing again and again ceaselessly. The off-guard Infernape has little chance to respond before it even realizes what's going on. But then Samurott itself gets distracted by its own bloodlust and is defeated by the other two firefighting types. Now you'll notice there's quite a lot of fire types.
Yeah, there's a lot of
so
fire
let's talk
types.
some meta stuff. It was always going to be mostly fire types in the end. The fire type starters are, in general or as a whole, the best of the bunch. First off, the most resistances, the middlest weaknesses, and plus there's the status effect that plenty of their moves can just apply. Some guaranteed. Burn. It not only
Burn.
deals damage over time, but also cuts the physical attack damage of the burned Pokemon in
Half.
and only fire types are immune to burn, so yes, even the water types get burned, and now their attacks are less effective on the fires. Ugh. The other two types have nothing like this, unless you count like seeded. And also, for some reason, Game Freak decided that most fire starters just have a higher base stat total. I mean, like in Gen 1, 2, and 4, the fire starters' total stats are 534, compared to Grass's 525 and Water's 530.
Damn.
Also, fire fighting is a very good offensive type combo, and there are 3 of them. The fire types also tend to be on the more speedy and offensive side, more so than the other types as a whole, and their moves tend to be on the more
Man, Game Freak, we need some better grass types and better water type starters, please.
damaging side as well. But if you were to tally them up and see how many starters of each type get into a game's OU or Uber tiers, not counting the evolutions, because let's be honest, they don't really have a chance. You get water with 11, grass with 13, most of those being Venusaur in every stinking gen, but then fire's here with 17.
Damn.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fire in
Fires,
the end,
yeah.
which in turn also means the grass types get kind of screwed pretty early on. But I think it's fitting. I mean, just consider the general properties of fire. Ooh, I can make a plant grow and have you sneeze. Watch out, my leaves might be a little pokey. Oh, I can make you moist, and through an incredible amount of focused effort, I can pierce and or drown you.
I have no choice but to melt your flesh deep.
Okay, when you put it like that, I mean, it does make sense why fire. It's the better type.
Beyond repair by simply bumping into you. I turn your forests into ash and your water into steam. We
Jesus.
are the driving force of destruction.
Combusken's
and
seen
the
some
inevitable
stuff, man.
demise of all ecosystems.
Your water puts out the fire, but it's a type triangle here. They should
Yeah.
theoretically be balanced.
True.
But as the anime and card game shows us, type advantage is not everything. That said, calculating in secondary types gets really long-winded if I were to explain everything, but like, most of the best water types get kind of screwed. Yeah, Hisuian, Samurott, and Greninja especially can keep up with the fire types given their watery advantage, but that dark! There are 3 really good fire fighting types here.
Firefighting,
Some
yeah.
grass fighters too. Primarina's fairy typing, Empoleon's steel, those hinder their effectiveness when fighting the fire types. And
yeah.
yeah, Swampert is really good itself.
I feel like Swamper's like the best water type, right?
Its water ground type means that it super resists fire type attacks, hence it lasting the longest and holding off an entire group of fire types by itself. with a
Makes
little bit
sense.
of help
Makes
of a
sense.
little
Sabo. He's so cute.
Sobble, that's his name. Couldn't remember. It also, fun fact, has the highest base stat total out of all of the starters at 535. Only one higher than most of the fires, but interesting design choice, Game Freak. But yeah, honestly, it would have a very good chance of winning this, if not for that one pesky little thing. It's 4 times weakness to grass. A
To
third
grass,
of the
yeah.
Pokemon are grass.
Now you die.
So we are left.
No wonder Rillaboom took it down so easily. Makes so much sense now. Yeah, I've missed so much stuff.
With Charizard and Blaziken, 2 powerhouses of the metagame, almost always Uber or OU tier, and Pikachu. Pikachu was OU in the Gen 2 games.
No.
Gotta count for something. Yeah. Ooh, and yeah, Charizard's got that flying type, so it's weak to electric. So we're left with the final showdown. Blaziken versus Pikachu.
Blaziken and Pikachu.
Blaziken makes sense given everything we've talked about already, but why Pikachu? Well, a number of reasons. Firstly, it's funny. I mean, it's a tiny little rat.
True.
It's like
I mean, yeah.
zooping. Beep, beep, beep. I'm a squishy little orb that sounds like beep, and I'm fighting this giant flaming bird that punches and kicks like a man. It's funny. Nobody expected this cute little orb to make it this far. But also, this isn't just any Pikachu, who's already the mascot of the franchise and clearly is capable of overcoming many great challenges as seen in the anime. No, this is a Pikachu who can fly with its balloon rod,
Flying
who
Pikachu.
can surf with a board, who has a tertiary ability of sorts to just sometimes ignore or remove status effects, who has a higher crit chance, who has 4 signature moves with unique effects, like Splishy Splash. It's a water-type move that has a 30% chance of paralyzing. Floaty Fall, did you mean freaking flinch for me, please? Zippy Zap, a priority move that is also always a crit. And Pika Papow, a strong electric attack that it knows as a secret 5th move.
Wait, these are Sun and Moon moves, right? I didn't know that. Cause, well, let me tell you, I didn't play Sun and Moon. I know, I'm sorry.
What? It has 110 more stat total than your regular everyday Pikachus, and guaranteed maximum IVs. I want in this
Damn.
thing's bloodline. And to top that all off, it can sometimes just ignore being knocked out to 0 HP again
and again.
again and again. This is Let's
The
Go
laugh.
Pikachu's partner Pikachu. A Pikachu so good, Game Freak locked it into its game. Not allowed to be transferred out. And yes, partner Eevee has the same sorts of buffs, but its normal typing and being focused on trying to evolve prevents it from being quite as good. And plus, it doesn't have the cards. More so than any other form of Pokemon.
It has so
The
many
trading card game
cards.
has extreme power creep, so the cards from today will almost always be better than the cards a few or more sets ago. In fact, right now, Charizard V-Star is considered the most powerful and devastating card in the game. Oh yeah,
I have that
just
one. I have that
320
one.
damage or 130 that turns into 230 if it has any damage, and it can just do that over and over again. So all the more reason for it to reach 3rd place. Charizard cards are often the most valued and sought after by collectors too, so it's not like they need.
They really are. I have a couple of Charizard cards. They're in. It's insane how every Charizard card is worth something.
Needed to make it this strong, but they did to say something about it. Surprisingly though, it doesn't see a ton of play despite its overwhelming power.
True.
You know what did? Radiant Greninja. In the 2022 Trading Card Game Championship, half of the top 10 used it for its way good ability. Though, interestingly, none of the top 3 players used it. You know what the 3 toppest champions of the trading card game
Toppest.
last year used a lot?
What was it?
You guessed it. All 3 of them heavily
Pikachu.
utilized Flying Pikachu V and Flying Pikachu V Max.
VMAX.
Now, we won't be considering the
I remember.
VMAX card because
I remember seeing that actually from on Twitter or on X, whatever it's called, or what it's called right now. But yeah, I remember it's like Pikachu and then that Greninja too, and I guess they also use the V-Star Charizard.
the card game's equivalent of Gigantamaxing and such. There was none of that here. But regular Flying Pikachu V is also the closest the card game gets to Let's Go Partner Pikachu and its power level. And if all top 3 champions used it, it must be good, so let's read it. Okay, 190 HP with the move Thunder Shock. It does 20 damage and a 50% chance to paralyze.
Paralyze.
Doesn't seem... I feel like a regular Pikachu could do that.
I have so many of those Pikachus.
So what's... Oh, right. What's the other attack?
I might have to
So
use
120 damage. Decent. Not bad at all. But a 50% chance to just ignore all damage and effects of the opponent's attacks next turn, and you can just keep doing that?
Yeah, that sounds so broken.
Good. And then when you evolve it into VMAX, it's like it's just a full-on, oh, no wonder it won kind of card. Jeez. Okay, so where does Blaziken stand in the card game? Oh, not well.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody use Blaziken.
Again, we're not going to count. So I read a lot of reviews by people who know the card game better than me, and basically the conclusion here is that Blaziken V is... it's okay.
Yeah.
You would only ever really use it to turn it into VMAX.
You don't really
but
see
even then,
many Blazikens.
VMAX is decent at best, very middle of the road. So Blaziken versus Pikachu?
I mean, surely by that logic, Pikachu should have won, right? But it
Blaziken,
didn't.
because it was still at full HP when you started fighting it. It just ignored all of the attacks at the start of the Royale thanks to the cards and its balloons, and also its partner Pikachu, which can just ignore being knocked out sometimes.
True.
Isn't this game great? But all of that sounds like it's leading to a Pikachu victory, so
That's
why
what I just said.
didn't it? Well, beyond the obvious that none of us wanted to. I mean, it's an unevolved rat that we see every second of the day already. It
True.
overcomes miserable odds on the reg in the anime constantly. It's cute, too cute, to be this powerful, and it's all so tiring. This one's shaped like a bean. But yes, even in loss, it's still a very close battle. This part of the Royales are always tricky. The TCG, board games, spin-off games, and anime, though, they all pull from the main video game first. So of course we prioritize looking at the main video game's stats, meta, and Pokédex
main.
first, and then supplement it with
So it'd just be
if
basically
we were to
makes
prioritize
sense.
the card game, yeah, Pikachu would win, no questions asked. But balancing it out with the main games, Pikachu was only OU once, before Blaziken even existed. And Blaziken has been OU or Uber banned this whole time. But why though? What makes Blaziken so much better than the rest? Well, it's fire type, first of all. Already a huge advantage because this is a free-for-all battle royale setting and everything is going to catch on fire no matter what happens. But
Yeah.
also, as stated, firefighting is an amazing offensive combo. Like most of the best offensive attack moves are one of these two types. And it gets its stab bonus with all of them. Really, at first, the only thing keeping Blaziken back in Gens 3 and 4 was its speed. Blaziken's speed is only a little bit above average, surprisingly. So while
Really?
it could easily
I thought it'd be,
destroy
like,
most
faster.
Pokemon that it's faster than, it's only faster than a little over half of them. Oh jeez, and partner Pikachu's speed is 121.
Oh, what the heck?
Something happened
That's
in
insane.
Generation 5. Game Freak occasionally goes back and buffs older Pokemon so they can try to keep up with the power creep. But what they did to Blaziken haunts competitive players to this day. So much so that even Smogon's own webpage explaining how the whole tier system works has this illustration featuring Blaziken at the top, almost like it's the poster child of Pokemon being so good they're just outright banned. All Game Freak did was fix its little speed problem by giving it access to the speed boost ability, which raises its
okay.
speed every turn by one stage. Could use Protect on turn.
I remember
Get a
that.
Speed boost. Maybe play some Mind.
Remember we got one in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, right? We got a Torchic event. I mean, yeah, if it keeps increasing its speed, it's gonna be fast and gonna be knocking everything out. Makes sense.
Games make you think it's going to use Protect on turn 1, so you buff yourself. But no, it used Swords Dance instead. Now you attack. Oh, it used Protect. Top it off with Flare Blitz and a high jump or low kick, and Blaziken was suddenly considered an uncounterable Pokemon. Not even just this one specific setup. As long as it had that ability, if someone threw out Blaziken, you had a turn or two to take it out before
Damn.
it just up and swept your entire team, no matter how.
I never got really into competitive, but I mean, it makes sense why it got banned. I mean, like, every time, every turn you speed, you get a speed buff, like you said, and then sword stance. Jesus, yeah. I mean, I would hate to go against it. I'm glad I didn't get into the competitive scene.
How tanky they are. One shot, dead. Swept. You let Blaziken speed up and maybe even buff its attack with a Swords Dance, or maybe a previous Pokemon just set up a Sunny Day. So it's
Oh yeah, sunny day too, and then the stab.
game over already.
Yeah, it's game over.
No contest. Concede. Like, maybe the best you can hope for is that team has Blaziken. Maybe that Blaziken will only take out half of my team instead of the entirety of it. Entire classes of Pokemon and entire strategies and playstyles were turned on their heads because of this one freaking bird. And then Game Freak went and gave it a Mega.
Mega.
You can actually give a Life Orb to it, and now its attack is even better than its Mega too. Isn't this game fun? That all being said, though, it was recently unbanned in later Sword and Shield due to different Pokemon being in the lead of the meta.
Yeah, wasn't Incineroar like one meta Pokemon? And then obviously I think Charizard was. From what I've seen, I don't know. You guys let me know.
Moves and items that help you deal with the Blaziken problem, and they even removed some moves that Blaziken used to have access to. So now.
Damn, they nerfed.
Decent counters.
They nerfed Blaziken
in the main meta game, so the actual use of Blaziken.
Yeah, I think it dropped, right?
You almost think of it as like the rest of Pokemon finally power crept up to Blaziken's level, but you see, when it comes to those perfect Blaziken counters, none of them are starters. They're like slow bros.
Slow bros.
And so, in a free-for-all battle royale with only starters, I believe Blaziken still has not a guaranteed victory, but the best chance at coming out on top.
Okay. Makes sense.
And Charizard coming in close. The dang duo of
that freaking Pikachu, man.
Game Freak favoritization privilege. If Swampert could hide and avoid the grass types until the very end, it too would have a very good chance. Torterra might be able to tank it out if it wasn't such a slow, dumb, and lazy tortoise.
That's so slow.
A lot of OU and Uber tier lists when designed in a very specific way. But in lore, the two is just kind of slow and dumb and sleepy. Oh, I'm on my own herbs. You hear what I'm saying? Don't make me mad. I might wiggle a whip at you.
Wiggle a whip.
But okay, what are your takes? Maybe you're making this face because I made some heinous miscalculation, but like, obviously, this is incredibly complicated, and I am simplifying a lot here. So, what would you calculate differently? Who do you think would also have a pretty decent chance? And also, what was your favorite moment in the battle? I love this one. Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe.
I was about to say that my favorite one was when Pikachu was like did that laugh.
If you're interested in Pokemon content that is a little too #smart for its own good, we recently explained the lore and designs of the Paradox Pokemon, as well as the intricate.
Okay, not bad. I mean, like you said, it could have gone either way. Like whoever, like if you just base it off the card, you know, Charizard would have won. Obviously, if you base it off Let's Go Pikachu or the anime, it's Pikachu, obviously. But like you said, it could have gone many ways, but I mean, I liked it. Like it's, like I said, in all the small little details that he was explaining, I'm like, damn, that's actually pretty good. Like, I thought I was a hardcore Pokemon fan, but obviously I'm not because I didn't know. I mean, there is a whole bunch of Dex entries. I mean, unless you go read all the Dex entries, you would have known all these little like Easter eggs that I guess you could say, or yeah, Easter eggs. I guess you would have known that way, but I mean, I liked it. And hopefully, I mean, surely Terminal Montage, it's gonna make some more videos like this, because I know he has other ones as well with other Pokemon, so I'm gonna have to go watch those, because I need to watch them for sure. But I mean, I like the video. I like the explaining, and hopefully, I mean, surely they're gonna make some more, and add little Easter eggs as well. But I really liked it. I mean, Blaziken won, makes sense. You know, he was out of the starters, at least he is, from what he explained, is the strongest. I mean, it makes sense. Charizard, I mean, I guess it was third place, right? So I guess it's between them two, Charizard and Blaziken. But that's gonna be it. I really liked it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and if I should react to other Pokemon videos, let me down in the comments, cause I'm down. I'm down to react. I haven't seen many videos, obviously, because I haven't seen this. I don't know how. But thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a like, and peace.